Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Ott from the art room at Vieja Valley, and I'm so happy to be here to put together a lesson for you all that are at home. I miss you all so much, but I'm happy to be here because we all have to do art every day. So, this lesson will teach us about shape, about lines, about foreground, background, about coloring with crayons, oil pastels, pencils. So I'm going to call it Out of This World drawing. So it's about planets, and I want you to really use your imagination and make it your own. But most of all, I want you to have fun with it. So let's get going. To gather, or hopefully you've gathered, some circles from home. These are all lids that I found at home. So scotch tape, maybe the lid of some oatmeal, and this is another lid. So if you could see, they're different sizes: a big one, medium one, and a smaller one. So we're going to be sketching first. So I'm going to take my bigger lid, and with my pencil I'm going to place it, and I also like to go off the paper. So I'm just going to go like this. This is going to be my biggest planet. Then I'm going to make maybe another planet about here. And I just hold my circle and trace around with pencil. Maybe this one will be Saturn. So I'm going to add some rings around it. Really cool planet. Oops, maybe I made this one a little bit bigger. That's okay. I can fix that later. And maybe I'm going to add a smaller one, just picking around here. Perhaps a really cool spaceship that's coming this way. Let's see. I'm going to add, actually, think about a shape that you like. I'm not sure if this is a spaceship, actually. This is more like an alien ship. So think about a ship that you'd like to add to your drawing. And when you're sketching, do it lightly, because we will erase your pencil marks a little bit later. Maybe we want to add some stars. So I make my stars with 5 points. I just go slow. They don't have to be even. Maybe a smaller star around here. Maybe another smaller planet here, and one that's a little bit bigger. And this one will be kind of movement like that. So I'm going to start with this, maybe add one more here. And then I'm going to start, actually, let's give, this one will be perhaps planet Earth. So I'm going to add some continents. They do not have to be perfect or even resemble. This is just, to give an impression. Although if you do wish to make it more realistic, you can look for a picture from Earth and make it more realistic. Maybe this one will have craters. Just a few. And then I'm going to take my ruler and add some lines to the background. So here are some lines. I go this way. And maybe this is going to be the corner of my page will be my vanishing point. So they will all come out from here. And again, I am not measuring. I'm not trying to be perfect line and perfect dimensions. This is inspired by an artist from the 1960s who made posters called Peter Marks. So if you Google him, I'll put a mention of him in this post, so you can see he used really bright colors, colors that pop, and we're going to also be using really fun colors. Maybe I'm going to add one more here. So I am going behind the planets, behind the spaceship, all the way here. And now I'm going to take my Sharpie. Now you could take any black marker as long as you have a nice tip, and just go slow. I'm not using my circles. Now I'm working on a paper placemat so that if I go off the paper, it doesn't matter. And you'll see that when we're coloring, it also helps to have something paper underneath. It could even be just a newspaper, any kind of paper. So I'm going to work first on my stars, my planets, my spaceship. And remember here, I wanted to fix this. So I'm going to fix it right now. Make my circle just a little bit smaller. And here's my planet. So when you Sharpie, just go slow and even. Here we go. Here's the bottom of my planet. And here's a smaller planet. Maybe I'm going to move this one here. I don't like them next to each other. Smaller one. So this is kind of editing. As you go, you can change things that you like, you don't like. I guess you could have gone straight to Sharpie. The beauty of doing pencil first is that you can erase when you have time. Since we're working from home, we have a little bit more time. So we can do Sharpie later. And here's my last planet. This one has some craters right there. And let me see, here's another one. And a small star. Now I'm going to add the lines in the back. And the lines here. And this is just a small, smaller ruler. So then I have to just glide it over so it reaches the top. There we go. Or slide it down so it reaches my planet right here. There. So you're going behind your objects. And then when you're done, you're going to erase all your sketch lines. All right, boys and girls, so we have our Sharpie drawing. I wanted to show you other options that you could do. Of course, you've made your own. It's always important that you make your own. In this one, I have a space shuttle. And in this one, I made the rays kind of coming out from the planet. You could also do one that would have wavy lines, kind of like this one. So it's really up to you how you make, this is called a composition. So now we're going to talk about colors. And I'm going to show you, before we start coloring, we're going to talk about how colors pop. So here is our color wheel. Now, colors that are opposite each other are called complementary, and they will really pop in a drawing. So purple and yellow. Now these ones are called, and I know this, but I know you know this, but it's probably good to review. These are our warm colors and our cool colors. So if you made everything in your design cool colors, it would be really hard to see. The same thing, if you made everything warm colors, it would be hard to see. So I'm going to show you an example. This one here has warm colors on the planets and cool colors mostly in the background. Also, although my spaceship is also cool. So the planets will be popping a little bit more. I'm going to show you another example that's colored. I have the background is actually a combination of these are complementary colors, purple and yellow, and they pop. And then my planets are mostly cool colors, and you can see this one will not show up as well. So really think about your colors when you are starting to make decisions about what you're going to do. So I'm going to put this aside, and I will be using some really cool neon oil pastels, but you could use anything that you have at home. You could use crayons, you can use pencils, you could even use markers, although markers might take a while. These ones are great because they are a little bit chunkier, bigger. I'm going to arrange them. These are my cool colors right here. My warm colors, purple is going to be in the middle, and kind of like that. So here are my warm colors and my Alright, boys and girls, I'm done with my first layer, and I just want to show you a really cool technique when you're using oil pastels that you can layer and make shadows. So right now on my planet here, I'd like to make a darker shadow so it looks a little bit more round, not that flat. So I'm just going to add a darker green right here, just kind of to give it a little bit more roundness to my planet. So this part is going to be a little bit darker. So choose just a darker color, and these pastels, they really blend nicely. But you can also add, if you're doing crayons, you know, a little bit more humph. So this one, a darker color than my turquoise. I'm going to add a darker blue. And notice that I always do my shadow on the same side. So on here, now I'm going to add a little shadow here. Now if you want it to be a little bit more blended in, you go in with your initial color and just add a little bit more. I want it to be a little bit darker. So right here. Let's see. And here, maybe I want my ring to be a tiny bit darker. So see where you can layer colors to make it a little bit more interesting. Even in my rocket ship here, I want something a little bit darker. So just right here, I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow here, here, kind of here, and right here. How can I make this a little bit darker? You know? Now on these ones, let's see if I add a little bit of a small purple line here on the edge. And then I'm going to go back to my initial color, which is pink, to kind of blend it in. So we're doing this so it's not too flat. maybe here I can add a little bit of roundness. So, try to have a bit of movement right here. And again, I want a little bit more right here. Alright, boys and girls, I think I'm basically done. I hope you have fun with this lesson, and I really hope that you share your drawings and paintings so that everybody can see what you did. See you later.